Welcome to Don't You Know I'm Loco podcast, where we're breaking generational curses and normalizing mental health. We're four cousins who span 2 generations, and we're here to share our own experiences on our mental health and healing journeys. Join us as we talk about
the things we're not supposed to talk about.
Well, 3 cousins right now.
Yeah, just for right now. Manny is taking a little break, but we know he'll be back. So, yeah. How's everyone doing?
Okay, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I got good news today, so I'm happy about that. So, I won't share yet.
No, not yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Lisa, Candy, who wants to go first?
No, we do miss Manny because it definitely feels weird. Yeah. So, but he's a working man now, so.
We should bring something to the podcast. We definitely bring something and needs a break.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to go first with their challenge and how they handled it?
Why don't you go first?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Renee. My challenge this week, I guess, was just dealing with like podcast stuff, and I would say I handled it the best I could. I did get a little upset and said some things I should have, which I apologize, but I put my boundaries out there too, like stuff has to be done for this podcast and for it to keep going. Right.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, somebody has to do it, and I have to do it. And just dealing with that, and I wish I would have handled it a little bit better. I probably said something I shouldn't have, that's for sure. But I also did put my boundaries out there, and that's how I dealt with it. Yeah, and that's about it.
Speaking of boundaries, that's something that I had to deal with this weekend. Is boundaries, and just kind of keeping my mental space good around my boundaries with people. And it ended up being fine, which is cool because it was like I was a little bit anxious about how that scenario was going to go, but it ended up going just fine. So I got worried for it. Story of my life.
It's always like that, huh? Like, we overplay it in our head.
Anxiety.
Overthink it, and it's just fine.
Yeah.
Well,
Lisa?
I've been going through a few challenges, but I don't want to name them because there's so many, and it's like my ADHD will it'll go everywhere, right? So I'm just gonna keep it short and say that my Lord and Savior has been definitely been, helping me and guiding me, and I'm going through His plan, and because without Him, there's no way in hell I would be where I'm at right now, and that's saying that I'm okay. I'm okay right now. It's a struggle, and it's a lot of negative thoughts go in your head. You just want to not help anybody and just help yourself, but it's like you can't. Yeah. You can, but you can't.
Yeah.
Make that make sense. Right?
Yeah.
But it's like I have a lot on my shoulders right now, but it's okay. God, literally has me feeling okay. I don't feel that ending anything, or just giving up, or I know it's a lot, and it's if I can make it this far, what's another week or 2 or a month or a year, whatever, we're still here, we're kicking, and and that's another thing, working out, because there's no way in hell I'll be mentally where I'm at right now
yeah.
without it, because man,
I took the weekend off. It was Memorial Day weekend. I work out one day, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I was just like, nope.
Yeah.
It's a holiday.
Yeah. I did feel like that, but I had to tell my brain. but yeah.
All right.
Cool.
So today we're going to talk about therapy, talk about a little bit about our journeys and just kind of where we're at with therapy right now. Does anybody want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. I'm graduating from therapy next week. No, so I've been going to this therapist for about 6 months now. It's through the alcohol drug treatment program at the VA.
Okay.
And he's leaving, so I was like, no.
Oh, no. That's my greatest fear.
He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm out of here. I was like, am I going to get another therapist? I'm like, I don't want to cheat on you.
So, like, is he leaving just the VA or he's leaving? Oh,
yeah.
dang.
So I'm like, no. So he told me, though, he was like, you know what? You've been doing so well with all the challenges you've been going through lately. Like, he goes, I kind of feel like you should try not going to therapy just to see what happens. And you could always come back. And I was like, oh, all right. I can like supplement it with going to those smart recoveries. So I'm probably going to keep doing that.
Have you been going to those?
I haven't gone because of the California thing, and then I didn't want to leave Kobe alone the day or yesterday, or today, or yesterday. But I'm going to start going again when my dad's back, so
Okay.
you can watch him. But I definitely enjoy him. I'm going to go back. And yeah, that's what's going on with my therapy right now. So he wants me to see how I'm going to do without it. I'm like, I'm healed. Just kidding. There's no such thing as healed. You just keep healing though. Eventually, if if I need it, I'll go back again. I'm pretty sure I will. Like, something's going to happen. But for now, he's like, just give it a shot without it.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I mean, day by day.
I'm be raw dogging life. I don't know if I can do that.
Not raw doggy.
That's what I say about people who don't go to therapy or don't take medications. Hey, you're raw dogging life. Just out there. What's wrong with you?
That's hilarious.
But that's me.
Okay, I'll go next. I've been going to therapy for like 10 years now. And it has been the same therapist.
Nice.
So cool.
I know. I saw her on Monday. And she asked me some questions that I wasn't ready for, that it was like a wake-up call, and it's like, okay, gotta figure it out. Originally, like the way that I got to therapy was that I confided in Fernando about my childhood sexual abuse, and he was like, you need to go to therapy. But it was like, nobody had ever said that to me. Like, I used to trauma dump on people that I was dating that same information, and nobody would ever do anything about it. And he was the first person to be like, you need to see somebody. Like, it's like you're 30 something and you're still dealing with this. Yeah. And so it started off with us going to couples therapy, and it was like just to dip, your toe in the water. And then it was like that lady referred me to my own, and then she ended up being our couples therapist and our individual one too.
Oh,
yeah.
For both of you, like individually.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So like we can call her and whatever.
Dang,
like
so she really knows you guys.
Like on Monday, it was so funny. On Monday, I had an appointment. I did the Zoom, and Fernando was napping downstairs. And he was like, you had an appointment? Why didn't you tell me? I was like, because it was my appointment. Like, I'm not trying to share my appointment with you. I'm just trying to talk about you. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Only a little bit. But yeah, that's what got me into it. So it's been a journey. It's been on and off. She's seen me, like, gradually. She would say things that she was like, you probably do this. And I'm like, yeah, how do you know that? And it's like, she's been and she specializes in childhood sexual abuse too. Yeah. So there's a lot of I'll give you her number. There's a lot of things that she'll say, like, and I'm just like, it just like clicks in my head, like, oh my God. like the other day I told her like something triggered an old memory from like not childhood, but like from like my 20s, where it was like I would be drunk all the time, partying and stuff like that. But I had blocked it, and then this scenario like triggered it, and I was like, oh shit, I totally forgot about that. Like totally forgot about that. And she was like, well, how did that make you feel? Like, and we went through the whole situation, and I was like, crap, like I wasn't ready for that.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's been about 10 years. We were just dating when we first started. So, which I thought was like weird. Like I was like, we're just boyfriend and girlfriend. Why are we going to couples therapy? Like, what the heck?
I heard that's like a thing now, like where people go on dates and
I thought it was
therapy.
so weird. But
Yes. It is.
yeah, but I'm like, I'm so glad we did, because I would have never gone to therapy. Like, and I think back when I was little, I always used to have Michael Myers dreams. Like he was always in my
terrifying.
dreams. Yeah, and then it was like, what do they call it? Where you're out of body in your dreams.
Oh,
sleep paralysis.
Yes, I
Yeah.
have shit all the time.
So
was
I used
scary.
to have sleep paralysis, and he would be on the side of my bed
Oh my god.
every time, or he was chasing me,
Candy.
or he was even like the childhood version of him, like when he was a kid. Did you see that one? It was like a Rob Zombie of
Yes.
Even that kid was in my dreams.
Oh.
Yeah,
That
and
kid was like in another movie that was. Never mind. Go ahead.
but like I kept having those dreams. Like I would be so scared, and once I started going to therapy, those dreams stopped.
Oh.
Like once I started to deal with my trauma, they stopped. I haven't had a dream about my like I bought a shirt
terrifying.
with, I
just
bought
thinking
a
about
shirt with
that.
Michael Myers on it, because I was like, you don't scare me anymore.
Ah.
You know, because when I would see the videos, I would be like, no, because you know.
I was gonna say
you're
that. I'm
in
like, I
dreams.
thought I saw you
Yeah.
wear a shirt.
Because that's why. Because I was like, you don't scare me anymore. Because it was literally like, I interpret that as it was like my childhood trauma. Going through my dreams, and now that I've started, to heal from that, and I think it's the craziest thing. Like I don't hardly have nightmares. Like I can't remember the last time I had a nightmare. And it was
Still
all
haven't.
because it was like all that trauma stayed in my body. It stayed in like everything.
You released it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So like that's like the main thing, that it's like I know therapy works. Like I know it's helpful.
Yeah.
And it would happen like frequently.
Yeah.
Like not like once in a while, all the time. And I was like, dang, imagine if I would have gone to therapy when I was a kid.
You'd be like,
Don't we like all
United
regret
States.
that? Like,
Yeah.
just
And
not
I
I
was
just think
going.
that. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, if I would have known like all this stuff, I'd be like, I feel
Yeah.
the shit.
I know.
Hello, we are live now. You're on the set of Don't You Know I'm Loco? Andy, Renee, Lisa. If you have any questions, we're going to talk about what's going on, like what we usually do in our podcast. And if you have any questions, you can ask. I don't want to be. Who wants to be the mainframe?
Nah.
Want to be the?
Maria. No, what's her name? Lele. Lele. Yeah.
So we are recording our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our first time going live. Be kind. We mess up. But yeah, we're talking about therapy. Going to therapy. Candy was in the middle of talking.
Yeah.
But she wants to continue.
Just to review again that I've noticed how much therapy has with just that alone about my dreams and stuff like that, how that has changed. And it's a marathon. Like, you don't need to stop. Like, granted, yes, if you feel like you need to take a break from therapy, that's different. But it's not a quick one and done thing.
Yeah.
It's like a journey.
And then you're gonna fail, and you're gonna.
Yeah. I mean, and there's been times where we call her when things are good, and we're like, "Hey, we just wanted to tell you we're good."
Oh. You're like, don't charge me.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? I already got two bills. I was like, that's why
Hold up.
that's why sometimes it's better when we do together, because we only get billed for one.
Okay. That is
my
so
turn.
cool. And you guys don't feel like you need to hear another perspective, like somebody else.
No, but
You're
she did
good.
mention that. She's
Oh.
like, if you ever want to, go another way, or if it, because the bad thing about it is that we pay out of pocket because she's not in my network. So like I had a panic attack when they sent me a letter saying that she wasn't covered in my insurance, and she was like, "Don't worry, we'll figure it out." And I was like, "Thank God." Yeah.
Oh, how nice.
I know. So we're like on a cash basis, which I know is something that not everybody has the benefit of doing, but. She did tell me
bless
that.
her.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She told me like if you can't afford it, or like you need to change, that's fine. And I'm like, why are you trying to break up with me? What?
Those therapists break
You're like,
up
I will come and
are
clean your
terrible.
house, and I will.
What do you mean? I'll clean the house and talk to you. Let me know.
And my husband will build you something. Or what do you want?
Yeah, we'll barter
We'll
for
work
therapy. Okay, don't be trying to leave us. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
So that's my therapy journey.
Okay.
Because I can't read the comments.
Um,
Hi, Tim. Hi, Fabi. We'll swing it to whoever. You guys have a question for anybody, we'll swing it to them.
well, I started therapy. Let me tell you guys really quick. Shout out to my girl, Tara. She is like the best therapist ever. We served together. We were in the same unit for a little bit, and then we became best friends, and she's like the best thing ever. And she is the one, well, she was a therapist. We're working together. We're working in a medical unit, and she just like started talking one day, and then I was like, wait, like, that's what you guys do in therapy? Like, you guys just like not talk shit, but like talk shit, you know? Like, she wasn't telling me like about like anything specific, but I was like, that's what it is. And she's like, yes, girl, like it's it'll help you, right? So just like developing that relationship with her, that friendship with her, and just like, opening my mind to what she had to say, because I was so like against it before. I'm like, you keep that shit in the house, right? Like you don't share that.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like her, and then Michelle, and we just all, like used each other for therapy, but she always kept it, she still keeps it professional, like real, like, she doesn't tell us like anything that she won't tell us, like that she's not able to tell us, and it's not like we're like, ooh, who is it, or anything like that, because we respect that too.
Yeah.
And yes, she's very, very respectful. But so that started with that, and then so then I got my own therapist, and that wasn't great because I didn't really know what it was. It was just like I would just kind of sit there, and she would ask me questions. It was just real like informed. I don't know. It was just weird, right? Like I didn't like it, and then I was married at the time, and then him and I went, and it didn't really work out because we didn't really know what we were doing either. Like I wish somebody would have been like, I mean, Tara, she did guide me, and she told me like what to expect, but like, I don't know, maybe if the therapist that I was sitting with was kind of like introducing it and kind of maybe talking about like, okay, well, you can tell me whatever, or, or I don't know. The one that I went to, that I started with, wasn't like that. It just took me a few, like I've seen maybe like, no joke, 6 or 7 therapists, right? Because it takes a while for you to, because you're telling them your life, right? You're telling them, you want to make sure you can, vibe with them, you can trust them, you can like you're building a relationship. And you're like straight off, like not even like, hey, like take me to dinner. It's like, hey, here's my childhood drama or trauma and like all this stuff, right? So it took me a while to like really get into it, but when I got into it, it was years later. I was on my second marriage. That therapist that I was seeing during that time did help me, but it was like at the same time, I wasn't like, I knew what it was, like I knew that I had to talk to somebody, but it was more like about my finances, about like help me with that, right? And it was just like, no, it's beyond that, like it's way deeper than that, right? So it took like 2 therapists after that to really get me to like talk, right? Into like
open up.
work,
Yeah.
right? Like, and I've always read or did the audiobook, and I've always like, informed for myself. I've always liked that, because of Tara, that I liked informing myself, right? So it was like, until I found the person that I can like really, really open up to, that's when it started getting really good, right? And she was just like, no, she's calling me on my bullshit. And like, it was somebody that was holding me accountable, because before I was like, I don't do anything wrong, hey, and she's like, okay, no, you did it, and they'd want to be like not my friend. They would never want to be my friend, but we'd end up like having a conversation, and then it's like, we just had a conversation about something totally different that had no benefit for me or you, maybe you, because like, you're getting paid, and like I'm talking to the therapist, we were like cool and stuff, but it didn't help me. Yeah. Right. So, but anyway, like that therapist retired. So,
that's my fear.
No.
Yeah. That's
no, don't leave me.
Yeah. But she did give me a lot of really, really good tools, and, I'm able to like deal with stuff, but I just need to go back in there and fight. It's just so hard because it's like you're kind of like playing like double dutch, like, do I want to tell them? No, I don't. Like, do I? And it's so hard because you're literally telling them you're ugly. You're telling them
being vulnerable.
Everything, right? And it's like, fuck, it's
deepest,
hard.
darkest secret.
Yeah, for sure.
But you're also doing
Thank you, Sarah
a disservice to yourself by not telling them everything, because then you just hold it in. Yeah. And it's like such a release.
Thank you.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
That's funny. But yeah, that's what I was, like, I think about that because there has been times where I do, like, don't say something even though I'm feeling a type of way, but it's like, you're only doing a disservice to yourself because it's just weighing heavy on you, and then you just carry it, and then you're just carrying brick after brick after brick, and it's like, at some point you're going to have to put these down so that you can, get through it and move on. Yeah.
So that's good that your therapist let you go. So that way, like, you're going to be able to use all the tools.
Yes. So, you're joining us now. I was telling the story earlier how my therapist said I'm healed.
It's not true.
It's not true. I'm not healed. But he did say he's leaving the VA, and that he believes that I should go without therapy for a little bit and see how I do, because he says in his words that I've been doing so well with how I've been dealing with adversity lately. So I'm going to do that. Next week is my last session. I am going to supplement it with going to Smart Recovery. So I'm going to keep doing that, and healing never ends. So, I'm excited for this, kind of like see how it goes for myself.
It's exciting, You make it sound like it's a bummer, but it's not. Like, it's cool.
I'm like,
it's gonna suck because you're gonna have like those moments where you're like, but
I'm definitely excited to see how I do without it.
For sure. Do you guys journal?
I haven't lately.
Yeah. Yes and no. I haven't lately. One thing that I have been doing is this book, and I actually just showed my therapist this one. It's called The Dialectical Behavior Therapy Skills Workbook, and then it says practical DBT exercises for learning mindfulness, interpersonal effectiveness, emotion regulation, and distress tolerance. The main one is emotion regulation. That's something that I struggle with.
Yeah.
I could have used that yesterday.
Right? Yeah, and it has like exercises to do, like this one, for instance, take a time out, live in the present moment, valued living questionnaire, like all kinds of different things that it's like, because that's one thing that my behavioral therapist had said, like, that I need to work on that, because I'm always so, not negative, but I'm always like, well, what if this happens? Or, I misinterpret what's being said because I'm not being receptive. I'm being more of
thinking the worst.
Yeah, like a situation could go. The example she gave was like, you're going to lunch with your friend and your friend cancels, and you automatically think, I'm a bad friend, or they don't like me.
Oh.
And that's
Like
where
that.
your
I'm
brain
so
goes,
like that.
right? You think like, oh, it's me, you know,
Yeah.
and it has nothing to do with you. It's like a circumstance, and it's like she recommended, you know, CBT therapy, and then I had actually found that workbook. I heard it on a podcast, and so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pick this up, and I picked it up. I read like the first couple pages, and then I left it alone. And then I think I just wasn't ready for it. And so I picked it back up, and I've been like, literally I was sitting there with my like lamp in my room, like I have like, a
that's
little
good
reading
shit.
book. Yeah. And
that.
highlight. I never highlight anything. Like, and I've been highlighting it and working on it. So it's like, cool. I really like it. Like I'll sit there and I'll be like, you know, tell my husband, look, I'm gonna read this to you. Look.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is me.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Another book. I came with my
Oh,
research today. I picked up.
Somebody
we're
said
supposed to bring stuff.
pessimistic.
There you go, pessimistic. I picked up this book, Self Care for Latinas. And I wanted to read this part because I thought it was interesting. It says, according to the National Alliance of Mental Illness, about 35% of Latina adults with mental illness get treatment compared to the U.S. average of 46%. That means that more than half of Latinas who are struggling with conditions like anxiety, depression, PTSD, eating disorders, suicidal ideation, and other mental illnesses are not receiving treatment. And without adequate help, these conditions often worsen. And I know
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I know therapy is a luxury, but I feel like since COVID, mental health has become more like, I don't want to say mainstream, but people have become more aware about mental health.
Yeah.
But we're still behind though.
Yeah.
Like, we're still way behind on the
Definitely.
mental health.
But I think like,
But it's a start.
It's
Like,
a start
we're,
talking about
you know,
it.
like even like this,
Yeah,
you know, like us
exactly.
talking and just like, fuck, we couldn't talk about this before.
No
You kidding
way.
me? Like,
Are you kidding?
you guys don't know shit, you know? Like, and supposedly, like, you guys, like, we're super close, but yet there's things that you didn't know.
I didn't know,
and,
like last week you said about like you
crazy, right?
getting racist remarks and stuff. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Crazy.
Damn.
Anyway.
But like I think with like sites like BetterHelp.com, I always hear those ads, always, or I see them, and
They're
it's
catchy.
Yeah.
but it's like it's made it so like accessible, where it's like you can FaceTime, you know, your therapist, and you can do Zoom. You don't even have to go into an office, because that's also a face-to-face is a little bit more intimidating than like a Zoom. You know what I mean? You're in the comfort of your own home and, you know, your own environment. And so that's a little bit different. So it's cool to see like now more people are starting to become more aware about mental health.
Have you guys been on the app ever? No. I want to go on the app only because like I want to see what options, like what if you don't have insurance and you have money, but like you have a little bit of money, can you like, I'm only saying this because I think maybe it was somebody else that said like, hey, like any thing that you hear about like with like mental health or anything like that, like people like donate their like inheritance like to mental health too. Like there's so much money like that people don't know about, you know, but people like literally are dying and giving them, you know, their inheritance, like their money, their estate to, you know, for studies or for people that, you know, so it's like, I don't know. That's something I want to look into.
That's
I mean, us were better.
Yeah.
So I'm 100%. So I get everything covered. So I'm like, sometimes I'm like, should I go to like a private sector?
Why not?
Yeah, that's something I have to think about for sure.
Especially, I mean, I'm sure even like with like not through the VA, there's like veteran programs that you can still go through that people like, you know, there's money out there for it.
There's a lot of resources out there.
And it's so scary because you just think, oh, it's an insurance thing. They don't take insurance. Oh, no, it's cash. But, like, you never know. I don't know.
Real quick. So Jerry, 1580, who I deployed with to Iraq, he said, I stopped going to mental health specialists. All they do is give meds, which I chose not to take. I found better ways that works for me that doesn't include medication. Oh, see, everybody has their own way of like.
Everybody's different.
Yeah,
There's no
everybody's
right or
different.
wrong,
Yeah, there's
right?
no right or
It's
wrong.
just whatever
Just as
works
long as
for
you
you.
get help. Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome to
Works
hear.
for
Like,
you,
good to
yeah.
hear that something else is
Yeah.
working for you. Like,
Can we ask what works for you? Like, what? Can you share that with us? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm talking to the phone like it's gonna respond to me.
yeah, he will.
Like
If
what?
he's listening, yeah,
What? Like he just?
Not just comment back.
he's coming back.
Oh,
You're good.
I'm really old school. I don't know.
He
He doesn't want to share.
doesn't want to share. That's cool.
Yeah,
But it's good
you don't
to
have
know.
to. You
like,
don't have to. Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
has their own way of going about
Yeah.
things, as long as it works.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Like I really want to find a different way from like besides the
Medication?
medication, but
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was a different way too, but right now it
I
has me.
know.
It has me from
not-
drowning. It's like my life raft.
Mhm. No, I get you.
But
Yeah.
there is something I want to talk about what they're teaching at school about like. So when therapy first started, it was mainly blueprinted for like white males,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like everything was for white males, and now they're like the classes that I was taking at UOB. I'm taking a break right now, but a lot of it was cultural diversity. Like there's different types of clients that come in. There's there's Asian, Black, Hispanic. We're all different. You're not supposed to go to the client patient. You're not supposed to go to them like everybody's the same.
Yeah.
Like, they're teaching that.
Oh, I got you.
Like like be diverse in how you talk to them. It's not just like a blueprint, which I think is awesome. Like
Yeah.
finally,
Yeah.
And I swear, like most of these classes that I was taking, it was about cultural diversity. Like just that everybody's different. There's the
How
LGBTQI
cool.
community.
That's that's nice to hear.
Because before it was just
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
That's all medical though. Like all the medical books are based off of white males. Like,
yeah.
You think about stuff like that, and it's like there's people now that are coming out with stuff, to diversify the data that's out there.
Oh, he answered, Lisa. He said, I tried to go on vacation to places I've never been to, tell myself to enjoy every minute. I was like, oh yeah, we see him going on cruises on his Facebook. I'm like, damn, I want to go. Yeah. Thank you for answering.
See. Okay, cool.
But yeah, that's one thing I've been learning about that is just, when I go back to school, it's going to be more of that most likely. It's just, not every patient's the same. Treat them as an individual.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty awesome. Like, and I think that's what happens when like the Latin community, like somebody Mexican American goes to therapy and they get discouraged because,
It's almost like they're ashamed or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But also like the whole,
They
this was designed for.
Yeah, they don't understand sometimes. Like there's a lot of things culturally that they wouldn't understand where it's like, and that's another thing is that more recently I feel like more, there's more of a demographic, like a wider demographic between therapists. Like you don't, 100% keeping it real. My therapist is an older white lady, but she's like, hippie. She gives me hippie vibes.
She gets you.
She gives me hippie vibes, right? But like, I see people that like specifically will look for therapists that look like them, so they understand, and you don't
That's
have to
so
sit
true.
there and break down like this is the way my family functions, and it's like no, they know as well because they grew up in the same community, and I think that helps a lot because it's like they're gonna understand you on a different level than somebody who's never experienced what you've experienced, like if that's just like the adversities or even if that's just like home life, where it's like the littlest thing, like for instance, being on a Zoom call and it's like in a household with family, they think you're just screwing around. They don't know that you're really on.
No.
You're like, I'm in a meeting or I'm something, and it's like we don't care. Like it's things like that. Like not everybody's gonna understand that.
You're right over there.
Let me just say it really quick. So I work from home, right? And my mom, she comes over during the day, right? She comes and she hangs out. She watches her TV downstairs, and I'm like upstairs working, right? And I'll be like on a call or whatever, and all of a sudden I hear, Lisa! Lisa! ¿Quieres comer?
Yes,
Lisa! I'm like, Mom! Oh my gosh. That's the worst.
That's funny.
And it's like she does, I don't know. Or she'll knock, but open the door. Who the she'll, and then open
Mexican moms.
it. And I'm like, Mom,
She's like, you're lucky I knocked, okay?
you don't even live here.
She's like, this is part of my house. I made you.
Oh my gosh. That's
Too funny. Oh my gosh. You know, I think about like if our parent, what would have happened if our parents' generation would have gone to therapy.
Oh my god.
Like, I know like the shit that they went through and like the trauma that they faced. I could only imagine like even now I'm like I see instances where I was like, man, I wish I could go back and like hold your little self and like help you and like I try to like bring things that I've learned in therapy myself into their lives. Like
Me too.
for instance, like recently with like the accident my parents had,
Oh yeah.
that was traumatic. Like traumatic as fuck, and it's like it was traumatic for us. So I can't imagine what you experienced going through it. And like I've mentioned to them, like, you know, maybe you should talk to somebody because it's heavy.
Yeah.
And it's like I know their generation is not for that, but I'm gonna throw little nuggets here and there for you if I can.
Yeah.
You know. But
do you think my mom being there, do you think they like it's helped her like talk? Like,
your
does she
mom, oh my god. I love your mom being there. Like your mom is like an angel right now because she's helped out so much. Like and they're like two little sisters laughing and
really
they're like laughing and watching movies all day. And like it just brings my mom so much joy in like such a like dark time right now. Like, you know. And it's just so nice to see. Like and then sometimes she'll bring like breakfast or like whatever, you know, and it's just I think it's been a nice bonding time, and she's like helped us so much because that was something that we were like, what are we gonna do, you know? Somebody has to be with her 24/7 right now.
And she loves it. Like she comes over and she's like, oh, you know, she'll tell us little things here and there.
I know. Like what they for Mother's Day. For Mother's Day, my sister sent money for flowers. So I went to go get flowers. And then I picked up donuts for that day. And that day my dad had brought me McDonald's. And she was like, oh my God, so much stuff. So like I tried to do that, you know, little things for them here and there. Like last week, I was like, oh, I'll get Cane's for lunch and I'll come for lunch because I go to my mama's house for lunch. It's 5 minutes away. So I was like, I'll pick up lunch. I start driving. I have a flat tire.
Oh, no.
I'm like, oh no, my lunch. But I was like, dang it. But yeah, I try to do little things for them here and there because they're just at home chilling watching movies. And it's like movies that I'm like, what movie is it?
Is it like a Russian or like
sometimes they're dubbed.
They're like
I'm
from
like, what?
Yeah, my mom loves watching those kind of movies.
I still go out to the open desert and go rounds or be a car enthusiast.
He has hobbies.
Yeah, there you go, hobbies. Nothing shameful about getting help. Nope. Hard part, I think, is when a therapist has no idea the BS that was dealt with. Oh my God, it's true.
Yeah.
I think you find the therapist that has chewed on some can relate to. Yeah, it's true. I think in the VA too, like I would want a therapist that's been there, right? Like,
yeah.
And I think that's why I want to do it. Like I want to work for the VA and like, hey, I would do that shit too. That's like,
it's like a camaraderie.
Yeah, camaraderie thing.
You know, like nobody's gonna know what you guys went through unless they've been there themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and we can relate more, you know, like to each other. Like it's just more. Yeah, it's definitely a difference because like when you do go see the therapist.
I do like my therapist
clinic,
now.
like,
every now and then you get lucky and get somebody, right? Like my therapist now, like I'm gonna miss him.
Don't leave me.
If you're listening on this, if you're watching this, I'm gonna miss you. But One thing I do want to talk about therapy is I think a lot of people when they go they think the therapist should tell them what to do, right? Like
Yeah.
and like I was telling them about an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm that I saw. It was I was watching it yesterday, and Larry David, who's George Costanza is based off of. So this Larry David character is like Costanza on steroids. Starts to go see a therapist because he got a divorce and he wants his wife back. So he starts to go see this therapist, and the therapist is like telling him what to do with the wife, right?
Yeah.
He's like, when you go out to dinner, tell her you love her, hold her hand. He goes, wear this stuff like to look more mature. So he's doing everything the therapist tells him to do. So everything's going well. And then he goes and he gets a second his ex-wife, and he's like, I want you to move back in with me. You have until Monday.
What the heck?
She's like, you're giving me an ultimatum?
Oh no.
To his ex-wife, like
Yeah.
okay. Oh.
And he's like, my therapist told me to say it.
Oh no.
But it was obvious that the show was saying, that's a bad way to go
Yeah.
about therapy. Like, you're not supposed to go there. And
But wait, why did the therapist tell him to go?
he's a bad therapist.
Oh.
He was
okay.
like coaching them exactly what to do.
Yeah.
And that's not what therapy. Therapy is you're supposed to go there, and they're supposed to have you figure out
Yeah.
what to do, right? I did learn that in classes too. They're like, you're not supposed to give them like too much advice. It's let them figure out what they need to do in life, and because if that happens, and you become too what's the word I'm looking for? Codependent. Yes.
Yeah.
Peace out. Have a good one, ladies. Never give up the fight, Salcido. Love you too, Sergeant. Still a sergeant to me. Good. Thank you for asking some questions Thank you. Good. Anybody else? Oh, also, therapists should never hit on you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, pro gave hearts. Yeah, therapists should always keep it professional.
Yeah.
They should never
Make you feel like they have like an alternative motive,
Yes.
or say things that make you go.
Yeah. Wait a minute. You
Yeah.
want to go where after this?
No, it's just inappropriate. But
Yeah. I mean, I think males don't have that issue.
yeah. Well, no, because I saw a male therapist once, and I wanted to see. Like at first, they were like, do you want to see a male or a female? And I'm like, you know what? Like I'll see a male from the first time, like just to see a male's perspective, right? And at first it was cool. Like we were vibing, like, and then it just started turning weird, and then it was just like inappropriate. Like I don't know. I stopped feeling comfortable, so I just stopped going there. And then the one after that was really, really good. She's the one that I feel like she made the most impact. Yeah, and she was through the VA too. So,
Oh, all right.
yeah, but yeah.
And also, like, you're gonna have therapists that you're not gonna vibe with, you're not gonna have a rapport with, and I think some people give up on therapy because of that.
Yeah.
And just go to the next one.
Yeah.
I think you were mentioning it earlier before we went
I think
online.
I don't know how many sessions you have where you can be like, yeah, this isn't gonna work, and like if you went through your insurance or whatever.
Bobby's asking a question here. I missed the beginning. Where is Manuel?
Manny is he's taking a break. He's gonna he'll be back. He's just been working really, really hard and hasn't been able to, to be here today.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it's just 3 of us today. But and there you go. Anything else on the subject of therapy? Okay. Right. It was interesting going live.
Yeah.
Not bad. I thought it was gonna be worse.
It's just like FaceTiming. Except
yeah, it's just
nobody
like
on the other
FaceTiming.
side. All right.
Love you guys. See you soon. Yes. Oh, and Timberly, our aunt, she's the one that her friend is gonna come be
Oh yeah,
a
our
guest
first
for
guest.
us. Our first guest, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So she's a therapist.
When is she coming?
End of June 29th, I believe. June, is that gonna be an issue? Well, we'll talk about that after.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's gonna have we're gonna have her as a guest. She's a therapist,
Cool.
professor at Fullerton.
Okay. Oh, fun.
Yeah. So it'd be cool to have somebody,
Yeah.
a professional on here.
We're all gonna be like so quiet.
We're not
Tara.
doctors.
We're gonna
Oh yeah, we're gonna have Tara too. Hey, more the better.
Yeah. So
Everybody has their own
for sure.
their area of expertise.
If you want to come be a guest and talk,
Oh
you
yeah,
can always come.
yeah.
If you're
Just come and talk.
Yeah.
I have a friend that she for sure wants to come. I was talking to her today out of Sally.
Oh, Korea?
Yeah, Korea.
Aw.
She wants to come on
Korea.
and do like two sessions. She said she has a lot to say.
She's a part two.
She's like, I have part one and part two. I'm like, hey, that's cool with me.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks
All
for
right.
tuning in on
We're
our
signing
live.
off.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. I
Yeah.
like that.
It's nice to interact with people.
Mhm.
Because then it's like, I feel like people don't be commenting. And then it's like
Mhm.
here, it's like a live interaction.
Mhm.
The last time I talked about that I wanted to be on a more frequent basis with my therapist.
Mhm.
And I'm doing that. It's like every 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Which I like because it's like, along with the book that I'm working with, she's like, do it every day for 45 minutes. And she was like, don't do it any more than that because then you don't want to speed through it. You want to make sure that you're taking in all the information that it is and make sure you're doing the exercises and stuff like that. Because like there's even one where it's like be in a quiet room and let everybody in the house know that you're going to be doing this exercise by yourself. Because it basically conditions you to, if you're in a, what is it? Like if you're in a situation where you're like high anxiety or you're like, you know, it will it'll condition you to how to like become peaceful with yourself or how to calm yourself down and stuff like that. And it's like, how do you do this when you're like in an environment that you're used to and when you're not used to?
Yeah.
And it's like certain things where it's like, imagine this or smell this or, you know, like, what do you, when you like, it's basically like just letting your body release and like, how can you do that? And the one that I was working on last night was like, give your brain a word and do these exercises. So then when you're in a situation, you tell yourself that word and then your body should condition itself to be like, you know, because it's like you're training your brain to be like, okay, this word is like peaceful. We need to relax. Like this is what that means. So I thought that was so cool.
Whoa.
So I was like, I love this book.
That's from the...
I ordered this one from
textbook?
Amazon. No,
Oh.
no, this is a regular book. I ordered it on Amazon. Yeah, but it's like it has all these exercises and things like that. It has readings with it too. It shows like examples and stuff like that.
Can you
cool.
Amazon that thing to me? Or?
Yeah, I'll send it to you, and then I'll post it on the page as well for anybody, and then this one as well too. And I like this one too because it's specifically for Latinas where it's like. I mean, it could, you know, it's for anybody who grew up like us. And it's like, there's so many things that are, that I relate to already. And I'm only like 20 pages in. And it's like certain things that it's like, oh yeah. Like it talks about like, oh, your tias and your this and your, you know, your mom and dad and your mommy and your papi and stuff like that. And it's like to find literature that speaks, you know, like us, and especially something that's like a self-help, you know, mental health thing. It's like so relatable.
Okay.
So, question for you, ladies. Is therapy and like self-help also frowned upon, like for Latinas? I know for males, like it's fucking machismo to the max. Like,
yeah. Like you're not allowed to be vulnerable.
We're not allowed to be vulnerable. We're not allowed to share our feelings. And I have to go to therapy.
I think it ties into like don't be telling people your business.
Yeah.
And it's like the main thing of this podcast is we talk about the things we're not supposed to talk about. And it's like that's how generational curses stay. Like that's how this behavior stays the same if we don't talk about it, if we don't get self-help. And it's like to me it's like I'm honest and I'm open about my struggles and about my journey because I want to make my nieces and nephews like
normalize it.
Yes. Exactly, because I want them to know it's okay. I felt like one of my godsons, I would like say, you know what, this is how I feel, you know, like, and I'm real with all of them. Like I've had conversations where I'm like, I don't judge, like, you know, whatever. And it's like, I just want to make sure that I'm a safe space for them because I wish I would have had that when I was their age. I just, I try to destigmatize it myself because it's like, you know what, my behavior in the past was awful, but it was because I needed help.
Yeah.
You know, I did those things because it was a cry for help.
Yeah.
And I finally got the help, and now I'm trying to break down the door and let everybody come behind me. Like, here are the answers. Not that, you know, like, here's what I did, you know, here's the path that I took. And so, to me, there's always going to be a stigmatism because, like, you know, we say therapy is for locals or whatever, you know, like, but it's not. Like, why are you torturing yourself by not getting help, by not going to therapy, by not talking to somebody about it?
Like, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
Just try it.
And you know what I think also I wanted to touch on was religion. Like, sometimes I think people depend on religion to fully, but it's like it needs to be in tandem with other things. Like, you can pray, you can't pray away everything, you know? Like, that's just the way I feel. Like, I know people, you know, people, that's their way of dealing with it is going, you know, giving it to God and that works for them. But it's like, I think in the past, like our parents' generation, that was their way to solve it. And it's like, but look how that worked for us, you know?
Not good.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, okay, in tandem okay, you know. I'm not saying religion, you know, anything about religion, but it's just like for some people it's not it's not the only answer. But
I agree, like
they don't know that that's an answer. They don't know because they weren't
because
they were thrilled that everything was about praying to God. Very drilled.
Like, and I believe prayer works, like, because to me, it's like, it's somebody's putting their energy towards you, you know, they're taking their time out of their day to, you know, this and that, and you're taking your time out of your day to be grateful and thankful, and, you know, but it's like, in some cases, it needs to be with the help of something else.
Yeah. I definitely think you have to put your own work into it.
Yeah.
You know, God, like, for me, I definitely put all my everything in God to guide me to make the choices that
that's a good word
to make.
That's a very good way to use.
And judging for my for my own experience, like, I know that it has helped me, or else I would have failed a long time ago because I'm still putting the effort. I'm still putting all the hard work. I'm still showing up. I'm still, you know, I'm still doing all these things with a better attitude, with a peaceful, you know, spirit and peaceful, like I honestly don't have any ill will against anybody. Like, they could have done so much harm to me, but because and I know it's God, because I wouldn't have. There's no way in hell. Like, yes, therapy has been life-changing, but for me, it's because like I made these like choices and stuff, but it's with God's help, and it's with, you know, the rosary, you know, everything that we were taught. It has worked for me. But
you're adding stuff.
But yeah, it is, you know, like, because it's so easy just to be like, nah, you know, like,
I'm gonna just pray and see what happens.
And are you kidding me? Nothing would happen, you know. But it's I don't know. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Are you gonna read your list? Or
Oh,
no?
no, this was just like
oh,
me to,
like a little guide.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Just this was yeah. I mean, I can talk about it really quick. This is just the 11 little mental health tips that therapists actually give their patients. And this is by Corinne Miller. It is in.
And we can go over them and see.
Yeah. Let's just go over it really quick. The first tip was actually try writing your thoughts down. So like journaling or whatever, or just even like I have so many post-its, so that is part of my ADHD too, because I have post-its everywhere. But every post-it has something like and I don't know if I can help.
Oh, I do have like on my mirror in my room. I have like words of affirmation.
Oh, that's cool.
I actually have like a checklist of take your medicine and all kinds of stuff on there.
Oh, good. Yep. Whatever works. Write it down. When you're super stressed and overwhelmed, see if there's any way to put a positive spin on it. Oh, yeah.
I've done that.
I do it all the day. No, plan to take daily low-key walks and actually do them.
Yes.
Have you been going on your walks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Every morning.
Yes.
Counter negative thoughts with positive ones.
That's a tough
I like
one.
that one.
It's a good
That's
one
hard.
though.
Yeah. Make a list of your people.
Oh, that's a good one. I need to do that. My people.
When you're stuck in a negative thought spiral, write down 2 good things. I mean, we can read all into it later, but let me just read them off. Number 7, have a self-care.
Yeah, that's a toolbox.
Yeah,
kind of like having a toolbox.
Number 8, talk back to your inner voice
all the time.
Yes, shut that bitch up.
There's people that don't have an inner voice. Have you heard of that? Like, really? They don't have that. I'm like, what? What do you mean you don't have an inner voice?
Yeah.
Fuck do you talk to?
Have to.
I told you mine. I'm like, Candelaria.
She's so cute though. Candelaria. Ask yourself, and then what? When you're stuck on an anxious thought. And then what?
That's a good one.
Number 10, think about your alcohol habits and whether you could stand to cut back a little. I guess it depends. And number 11, have a bedtime ritual.
Yes. That's a good one.
I suck at that.
Me too.
I watch Seinfeld every night.
My retainer, I forgot it. Get back up. Oh, my night medicine. Oops, gotta do that.
Let me go pee.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, let me drink some water. Oh no, I gotta pee again.
The worst when you have a cola. My 2 dogs. And they're like, let's get up. I'm like, oh my God, we're going back.
We're putting these out there and for everybody to watch them and see, hey, I can relate with this person. I can relate with that person. And
it just feels good.
And it just feels good, to put ourselves out there.
I know, it was cool to interact with everybody.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how that was going to go.
Yeah, I told you, it's like a one-sided FaceTime.
But that was pretty cool. We'll probably do this in the future again. Maybe when we have a guest on, you can do that.
Maybe, yeah. But it was cool. I mean, we want to interact with you guys more. So comments, anything,
Any suggestions? All right. So we're out. Thank you for joining us here at the Don't You Know I'm Loco podcast. If you are in need of medical care, please contact your local provider. If you are having thoughts of suicide, please call the National Suicide Hotline at 899. In case of an emergency, call 911. Join us next week as we talk about
the things we're not supposed to talk about.
Bye. Don't forget to subscribe.
Like and subscribe.